All right, so yesterday we were Genesis 49. We made it through verse 15, which was Leah's sons. Um, and so now we are, oh, I guess I need to, Kathy's not here, so I need to open up Worsby here and look at this next section.
I can read it if you need to.
Oh, good. Yeah, I forgot that you had it also. So 49, he read through the 15. So the next section would be the sons of Bilhah.
That's right. Yes.
Through 18, Mom, or through 21, it says.
Yes.
There's like a double there. It's 16 to 18 and then 21. And then the next one is Zilpah. So they must be mixed together because the next section is 19 and 20. So I'm going to say we go through 21. Do you see that what I'm talking about,
Yep.
Gretchen? Like
Yep.
that section, it says the sons of Bilhah, but then if you go to the next column, it says Zilpah.
Yep. So stop it.
So yeah, 20, yeah, those two sections. We'll read through 15 or 16 through 21, Kim, if you're up to reading.
Okay. All right. 16. Dan shall govern his people like any other tribe in Israel. He shall be a serpent in the path that bites the horse's heels so that the rider falls off. I trust in your salvation, Lord. A marauding band shall stamp upon Gad, but he shall rob and pursue them. Asher shall produce rich foods fit for kings. And Naphtali is a deer let loose, producing lovely fawns. That's through 21.
Okay. Cindy, whenever you're ready.
Okay, 16 to 18. Dan, whose name meant judge, fathered an aggressive tribe that would also judge in the nation, but would not be known for moral stature or religious faithfulness. Dan would later abandon its land allotment and migrate to the extreme north of Israel. Jacob's closing cry expressed hope for Dan in the day when salvation would indeed come to Israel. Dan, however, is omitted in the list of tribes in Revelation 7:4 to 8. 19. Settling in Transjordan exposed God's people to invasions, making them valiant fighters worthy of victory and commendation. Verse 20. Asher benefited much from occupying the agriculturally rich coastal region north of Carmel and provided gourmet delights for the palace. 21. Deer-like speed and agility marked Naphtali's military prowess. The son of Deborah and Barak, who hailed from Naphtali, is representative of his eloquent words. And that's it through 21.
Dan was not mentioned in Revelation where?
Revelation 7, verses 4 to 8. And I remember us talking about that in Revelation.
7, 4 to 8.
Yes.
The land that Dan was allotted, if you guys remember, is what is now current day Gaza. That's where they were supposed to go. Then they went to the complete north. But when I was over there, our guide was saying that the reason they moved to the complete north, one, there was water. So there was rich land, again, being Lot and picking the richer land. But also the Phoenicians, which were very wealthy, were up there where Lebanon is now. So they weren't obedient.
And Cindy, what did you say about Naphtali? He would be a
Deer-like speed and agility marked Naphtali's military prowess. And Deborah and Barak are descendants, the way it looks. They hail from Naphtali.
I had a question on that because the picture that Kathy sent in our group yesterday had question marks after it. And I wasn't sure what the question marks were for, so I didn't write those down that had the question marks. Like, were they questioning their heritage? Does anybody have that?
Mine has question marks too. I wondered the same thing. Does that mean there may be others, or were they questioning like Elijah, for example?
I wasn't, yeah, I would like, I didn't want to write anything in there if they were saying it was questionable.
Because there's not a comma. I would think if it was they're questioning in addition to Barak and Elijah, there would be a comma after
And then a
Elijah
question mark.
Yeah, but it's like Barak and then maybe Elijah. And then just like Gad, it has Jephthah with a question mark. So I don't know. I don't know either.
So Naphtali had a fantastic military, basically. Asher made gourmet foods for the palace. Dan was disobedient and didn't take the move where the land was allotted. Issachar, they became slaves, is what I have so far.
Why is in verse 18, well, 16 through 18. So they're describing Dan, but then in 18, it just says, I trust in your salvation, Lord. What is that verse referring to? Like,
I think the commentary said he was hoping that Dan would follow the sovereign Lord, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Does
Jacob is the one that said that, Kim.
okay.
Jacob said it.
And then
Thank you.
what about the bites the horse's heels? Does that mean that he couldn't be trusted? So that the rider falls off?
I'm thinking he's an antagonist. He bites their heels and then the horse responds and then the rider falls off. I don't know.
Well, maybe we'll find out through Gretchen with Worsby.
The sons of Bilhah. Bilhah, Rachel's maid, was given to Jacob to bear him children because Rachel was at that point childless. Dan, verses 16 to 18. The name means to judge, 36. And his tribe produced one of the most famous judges, Samson, Judges 13 to 16. The tribe of Dan was given a fertile land bordering the Mediterranean Sea in Philistine territory. Joshua 19, verses 40 to 48. But they weren't able to drive out the Philistines. In order to gain more land, they moved north and conquered the people of Laish and took their land. Judges 18, 1 through 29. By associating Dan with the serpent, Jacob revealed his crafty nature and his habit of making sudden attacks on his enemies. The tribe's conquest of the defenseless people of Laish is an example of their subtle tactics, and their setting up an image in their territory shows that they weren't wholly devoted to the Lord. 2 centuries later, King Jeroboam set up one of his idolatrous golden calves in Dan, 1 Kings 12, 28 to 30. Dan is left out of the genealogy in 1 Chronicles 2 through 10, and in the tribal listing in Revelations 7, 1 through 8. Is this because of their idolatry? However, when Ezekiel described the placing of the tribes during the kingdom age, he had a place for Dan. Ezekiel 48, 1 through 2.
Hang on, before you get too far away from it and can't find it. the Chronicles, where he's not mentioned. There was Revelation and then
First Chronicles 2 through 10.
2, First Chronicles 2, verse 10.
No, 2 through 10. It has a dash there.
Oh, it's the
instead of a
chapters.
colon.
Okay. And then it said that they couldn't conquer the Philistines in Gaza, which is still the issue today. And then they went, and if I remember correctly, those people up north were peaceful people that they took.
Moved north and conquered the people of Laish and took their land in Judges.
So what was the Gaza reference? Did he give one? That they couldn't get the Philistines out?
Joshua 19 verses 40 through 48.
Thank you.
The exclamation, I have waited for your salvation, O Lord, Genesis 49:18, suggests that Jacob was in communion with the Lord while he was speaking to his sons. Was he asking God for special strength to finish what he had to say? Or was he announcing that the Lord would soon call him into eternity? The word translated salvation is Yeshua, which gives us the name Joshua. Jehovah is salvation. The Greek form is Jesus. Naphtali, verses 21. For some reason, Jacob spoke to Gad and Asher and sons of Zilpah before he spoke to Dan's brother Naphtali. This tribe's location was north of Zebulun and Ishkar, and contained the Sea of Galilee. Zebulun and Naphtali were a part of the district called Galilee of the Gentiles, which was spoken by the prophet Isaiah 9 verses 1 through 2, and where Jesus ministered, Matthew 4:12 through 16. Note that Zebulun and Naphtali were distinguished for their bravery in battle. Excuse me, Judges 5 verse 18. The image of a hind doe let loose suggests a free-spirited people, not bound to tradition. The tribe was located in the hill country, so this image was chosen wisely. Moses said they were satisfied with favor and full of blessing of the Lord. Deuteronomy 33, verse 23. The last clause, he gives goodly, beautiful words, suggests that they were poetic people who could express themselves well, possessing the abilities to run like does and speak beautiful words. The people of Naphtali would make ideal messengers. The descendants of Bilhah's two sons seem to be contrasting peoples. Dan turned away from faith in the true God and trusted in idols. They became a deceptive people who exploited others to get what they wanted. But Naphtali had no judgment against it. When the Assyrians invaded the northern kingdom of Israel, Naphtali was one of the first tribes to be taken and deported. 2 Kings 15 through 29. That's it.
So Zebulun, Issachar, Dan, Asher, and Naphtali were all Bilhah and what's her name? Kids. Wait, is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, Naphtali was, or Zebulun was Leah's, wasn't he? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've just confused myself. I'll look at it later. I was trying to figure out whose kids were whose. I thought Ishkar, Dan, I thought Dan and Naphtali was Bilhah's. Asher was definitely another one, but Leah had 6 sons. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would mean Zebulun and Ishkar were Leah's. So were there only 3 to the handmaidens?
I think
There was
someone read that
Dan.
Dan
There was Gad.
yeah.
Where's Gad at? I didn't get
He's
him.
he's after where Gretchen shut off. That's in 19 to 20.
Yeah, it's next.
Oh, I see. I missed his name. Okay. All right. I was gonna say I thought there was more. Okay. Sorry. With you now.
I have a footnote in regards to Dan, 49:18. In the middle of his prophecy to Dan, Jacob exclaimed, I trust in your salvation, Lord. He was emphasizing to Dan that he would be a strong leader, but only if his trust was in God, not his natural strength or ability. Those who are strong, attractive, or talented often find it easier to trust in themselves than in God, who gave them these gifts. Remember to thank God for what you are and have, so your trust does not become misplaced.
Were you done then, Gretchen?
Yep.
Okay. So I need to start at 16. Jacob, finishing the blessings for the sons of Leah, moved on to the sons from his concubines. Dan, which sounds like the Hebrew word for has judged, will judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. In their best moments, the people of Dan were to provide justice for the rest of the nation. In reality, however, they proved to be treacherous. I can't get it out. Like a snake by the road, a viper beside the path that bites the horse's heels so that its rider falls. During Israel's conquest of the promised land, Dan quickly gave up the land which God had called them. See Judges 2, 3, and 4, leaving the land to the Philistines. Worse than that, Dan appears to be the first tribe to plummet into full-scale idolatry during the same time. You can find that in Judges 18, which probably has to do with the Phoenicians because they moved up next to the Phoenicians. But it really just shows you how important it is to keep yourself separated from the world. 18. In the midst of his blessings, Jacob interrupted himself to remind his sons of their need to follow the Lord and be dependent on him. Even with so many of God's promises fulfilled, Jacob knew that he still needed to wait for God's salvation. In this life, Christians never graduate from faith, and faith is seen in those moments when we hope for what is unseen. 19 to 21. Jacob's other 3 sons by concubines, Gad, Asher, and Naphtali, were given rapid-fire prophecies. Gad would be attacked by raiders. Oh, I thought it said he was a raider. Raiders shall raid Gad. Okay. Indicating the constant conflict that the tribe would experience. Asher, whose name means blessed, would live a life worthy of the same, with rich food and royal delicacies. Naphtali would be a free people dwelling in the mountains to the north. 22 to 26. Last of all, Jacob. Oh, wait, we stopped there, don't we? At Naphtali?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So we have Gad, Asher. All right.
You know, I did stop wrong. Because it says here Naphtali verse 21, and then I stopped, but it does go through 19 to 20.
Do you want to, the
I'm
next
sorry.
section? Go
Yeah.
ahead. Go ahead with that.
It's real short. The sons of Zilpah, Genesis 49, 19 to 20. Zilpah was Leah's maid, given to Jacob to bear him more children after Leah had ceased bearing. 39 through 13. However, later Leah gave birth to Ishkar, Zebulun, and Dinah. Verses 14 to 21. Gad, verse 19. His name can mean both good fortune and a troop because of the tribe's location on the east side of the Jordan. Enemy troops could easily invade their territory. Jacob assured the Gadites that no conquest would be final, but they would eventually conquer their enemies. This verse literally reads, troop, which is Gad, a troop will troop upon him, but he will troop on their heels. An old man on his deathbed, Jacob could still make a clever wordplay out of his son's name. The Gadites were great warriors, Joshua 22, 1 through 6. Moses compared them to a brave lion that could rend the arms and heads of its enemies, Deuteronomy 33:20. Asher. The name means blessed or happy. Since the tribe of Asher wasn't able to drive out the inhabitants of their territory, Judges 1:31 through 32, they settled down to be an agricultural people, taking advantage of the fertile land God gave them. Joshua 19:24 to 30. Moses said that Asher was most blessed, referring to its wealth of olive oil and the security of its cities. Deuteronomy 33:24 to 25. Indeed, Asher's food was rich, and the tribe even provided special delicacies fit for a king. And that's it.
So it was Bilhah and Zipporah. Was that her name? I'm going to have to go back and look them up.
Zilpah,
Zilpah.
Zilpah.
Zilpah and Bilhah, Bilhah.
Yep. Bilhah.
Hah. Any thoughts on any of that? Extra notes.
Well, just to clarify, so Leah had 6.
Yeah.
Who was Dan's mother?
Bilhah.
Okay.
So we have Bilhah had Dan and then Naphtali.
Mm-hmm.
And then Zipporah had Asher and Gad.
Yep.
Okay. I wonder why he went out of order. 16 is Dan, who is Bilhah's, and then he went to Gad, which is Zilpah, and then back to Bilhah with Asher. Just curious.
Well, Leah did Leah start having children then? Because it said Zilpah was Leah's maid, given to Jacob to bear him more children after Leah had ceased bearing. However, later Leah gave birth to Ishkar, Zebulun, and Dinah. So did she start bearing again?
Guess so.
Who had Dinah?
Leah.
She's not even mentioned.
Yeah,
Zilpah
which is
was Leah's,
interesting because
Zilpah was Leah's maid, which
I guess the women don't get a blessing / prophecy.
well, no, they wouldn't, and they're very often not even mentioned in genealogy. So if you see a woman's name in the genealogy, that's a sign to pay attention. They did something important. like Sarah is mentioned in the genealogy.
Esther.
All right, anything else on any of that? Oh, it's 28 after. We might actually fill the week this week. Today's Tuesday. I think we'll have to stop there and pick up tomorrow on verse 22.
I
I did
won't
not
be here
think.
tomorrow because I'm going to Carol and Harold.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm leaving Thursday, so God only knows when I will see you again.
Hopefully you can get on down there.
Oh, yeah.
All
Where are
right.
you going, Lori? Oh, never mind. Wait till you.
Yeah, wait
stop
till we're
recording.
done recording here. Okay, are you ready for your trivia question? I think you guys will know this. Gretchen, you in? Where did Moses see the burning bush?
In the desert.
On the mountain.
Specific
Oh.
place.
It's on some mountain. I don't know which one.
It was on a mountain.
Haran?
What?
I don't know.
Haran?
Ararat.
That's what I said.
No, but it does start with an
Ararat.
H. Mom?
I said Ararat, but that's not right.
No.
That
Someone
was
else
my
said
guess.
something though. Someone else
I
said
said-
something.
I
I
said
said on a
Horeb.
mountain earlier, but
What'd you say, Claudia?
Horeb?
Yes, that is correct. Claudia is
Hey.
the winner.
She's quiet but mighty.
She is. You can find that burning bush on the mountain of Mount Horeb in Exodus 3, 1, and 2. All right, this concludes the reading of God's word for today. Till tomorrow.
For
Sure.
sure.
All right, person.